bom dia, né? Como vocês estão? Espero que todos estejam bem. Mais uma live aqui, estudando inglês, né? Principalmente escutando áudio em inglês. Vamos lá. Hoje é o episódio, acho que é a minha quinta live, com o episódio 5 do podcast. Deixa eu ver se meu áudio tá saindo. Não, tô falando aqui. E não sei se tá saindo. Cabeça de ovo.
That commercial, that advertisement.
Não é isso. Tô ao vivo.
That commercial, that advertisement.
Tá saindo de boa meu áudio, então. Olhei aqui.
That commercial, that advertisement.
Tá saindo de boa meu áudio. Tá saindo de boa. Vamos lá. Hoje é o episódio 5. E também no podcast do Listen Time Podcast, Listen Time English Practicing. Também é o episódio 5, onde ele vai falar sobre barbecue, que é churrasco aqui pra nós, né? E também falar um pouco sobre moda. Cara, eu não sou uma pessoa da moda, já logo aviso vocês. Mas antes de começar, eu vou só compartilhar a live aqui com o pessoal que eu conheço. Só pra ver se vocês podem entrar e interagir no chat. Ou caso você esteja vendo aqui pela primeira vez, também possa entrar no chat. Se sentir confortável em comentar. Deixa eu compartilhar aqui. Não sei como faz isso. Aqui, create. Caramba, copiou 2 vezes. Aí. Pronto, compartilhei em todas as redes. Agora só deixa eu confirmar aqui. E já começa, gente. Bom, como todos sabem, ou quem já assistiu sabe, e quem ainda não assistiu, eu vou explicar agora. Eu começo sempre fazendo um trava-línguas em inglês para eu destravar, né? Depois eu já leio as novas palavras que eu não sabia, tá? Então, são palavras que eu não sabia, eu procuro o significado, eu coloco aqui em inglês e tento explicar em inglês de uma forma um pouco mais clara. É claro, eu leio aqui, tradução, tá, da Cambridge, e depois eu leio a minha transcrição revisada. Depois nós escutamos, de fato, o áudio com a transcrição original. E aí vai ser assim a dinâmica, ou está sendo assim a dinâmica todos esses dias. Caso vocês possuam algum tipo de sugestão, sintam-se à vontade de comentar aqui no chat ou no YouTube, ou me mandar uma mensagem no YouTube, não sei se dá para fazer isso, mas se não der, comenta lá no YouTube também. Mas vamos lá. Agora eu vou ter que fazer a transição, né, para o inglês. Gente, eu ainda não me acostumei a falar em inglês aqui com vocês. Bem nervoso, mas é a vida, né? Um café, uma água, para você. Vamos lá. So, let's start. Now I will just speaking in English, right? First of all, I will make the tongue twister where I can't relax my mouth to speak in English with you, and I hope you can understand almost everything I say here. If you don't understand because of my accent or I say something wrong, please, I'm sorry. But if you don't understand because you don't know what I am saying, uh, comment in the chat or the comments in the YouTube channel where I can solve what you're difficult. I can try to speak more slowly and clearly. And if you want or I feel the necessary, I can prepare a class to be more informal or make a new format of this content, okay, to you. So I want you to learn with me. That's why the name of channels is J Froy's Learning Journey. So I want you come in with me with this journey to learn something. That's just in English, right? I speak in English or I try to in English in the first time because I am focused on English, but I am also study about language German, and I usually study about programming. I usually study Python. So these first classes I make just in English about the English topic, but in the future I want to bring for you many other types of content. Okay, so feel free to comment here in the chat or the YouTube channel what subjects you wanted to know and study. If I wanted to know this subject, you comment. I will to study with you. Okay, so let's start. Tongue twister. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. She sells seashells by the seashore. A sailor went to see what he could see. A noisy, 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 an oyster. Give Papa a cup of proper coffee in a copper coffee cup. Shy Shelley says she shall sew sheets. How many bagels would a bagel bake if a bagel could bake bagels? One more time, right? Peter Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. She sells seashells by the seashore. A sailor went to see what he could see. A noisy, 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 an oyster. Give Papa a cup of proper coffee in a copper coffee cup. Shy Sally says she sheets. How many bagels would a bagel bake if a bagel could bake bagels? See, they send a message. Okay, I was writing for my cousin. He was asking me about the link of this live. Just answering him. Sorry. So now we go to the new vocabulary. I learned from the listening time podcast where I listening. I always listening before and read the transcription and make my review transcription before I start the live. Okay, so I want to fresh ideas in my mind. I can bring to you and more and do it more natural. Okay, so the new words: dive in. Dive in means to jump into the water, especially if your head or arms going first. Or dive in when the person jump in the water just full head. Okay, it's like a professional swimmer. So in this case, he means dive in is like a go to the subject, we go to the topic we want to talk about. Okay, so dive in about the topic. So jump in the topic. I don't want to know anything else, just the topic, okay? Gathering, a party or meeting when many people come together as a group. If I want to say I was to the party with my group, I can say I was in the party with my getting. So in the audio he say getting is like a party to go to the eat something, okay? Bratwurst is a type of sausage made from pork. Pork is pig, okay? But pig he wants to say the animal, and pork he wants to say the meat of that animal, okay? So bratwurst is like a type of sausage made from pork, spices and herbs. I put this kind of food here because I have many difficulty with when I say or when I read, listening something about food, right? Because I can associate the things. Another topic is I feel more comfortable to listen and talking and writing something, okay? Coleslaw, a cold uncooked caged carrot and onion cut in a long, thin strips and cover a thick cold sauce. Guys, here I don't know how to describe it, so I put the image here because I usually call this salad, right? Oh, well, full size. Oh, this is full size, okay, but it's like that cauliflower, okay? Well, worn out. Something that is worn out can no longer be used because it's so old or because it has been damaged by continual use. So, worn out, he mentioned that phrase or expression where when he was talking about fashion, okay? Our two topics today are about barbecue and fashion. Okay, so Warnold, when he wants to say about his clothes where they are old enough, so he needs to buy a new ones. So you can understand when you listen the audio and when I read my review transcription, okay? So you can saw what I want to say. So let's start with review transcription. Uh, okay. Anyone? Okay. So let's start. Ah, just I need to drink a little water. Okay. In this episode, we are going to talk about barbecues and fashion. Two random topics, but let's dive in, right? First expression, dive in. First, let's talk about barbecues. In English, barbecue can mean two things. It can refer to an event of having a barbecue, such as when you say, come over on Saturday, we're having barbecue in the backyard. In this case, barbecue refers to a gathering where people grill meat and other food on the barbecue. So the second expression, oh, sorry, this that means the words, okay? The second word is everything. Let's continue. The second mean refers to the type of food. If you ask an American their favorite type of food, they might say BBQ, especially if they live in the South. Barbecues are fairly common in the United States. People often have them in their backyard, especially on holidays like 4th of July, Independence Day. So in the United States, we usually saw in the movies 4th of July, they come over of their house and appreciate about their country. It's like the day of the it's like a Independence Day for the here in Brazil in the 7th September. Okay, these events typically involve grilling different kinds of meat, such as hamburgers, hot dogs, or steak. Some people might even the bratwurst sausages or ribs, which are a classical BBQ food. So the third word, bratwurst, is that like a sausage. Remember, sausage from the pork. The word barbecued is also used as a verb, as in we are going to the barbecue some meat, meaning to grill to meat. Barbecues are often held in backyards, which is the U.S. usually referred to the private outdoor space behind the house. This extra space makes it easy for the people to the host barbecues. So I don't know if you even watch the American movies where the people was making a barbecue and they usually making the back of the house, okay, the back part of the house, is called backyard. So in Brazil, we usually make this barbecue on the roof of their house or the front of the house. I don't see very often we make in a backyard. We don't usually have a backyard. Okay, so it's different things about the cultures in other countries, right? So let's continue. Where I stop here. When people talk about BBQ as a type of food in the US, they are usually referring to Southern style barbecue. Ribs are probably the most famous type of BBQ food, often converted into a rich BBQ sauce. Other common dishes include pulled pork, macaroni, and cheese, and coleslaw. So, the fourth word, coleslaw. If you ever get the chance to visit the BBQ restaurant, especially in the southern US, you will find some fantastic food. What's going on? Okay, it's not my problem. And barbecues are also popular in many other countries. For example, in Mexico, a barbecue is called carne asada, and in Brazil, it's called churrasco. So the Brazilians in my chat, we usually saw said churrasco. We will make a churrasco. So in the United States, we will make a barbecue. Barbecue traditions vary from place to place, but is a common event in many cultures around the world. Now let's move on to fashion. So in this case, move on to change the topic, okay? So now let's move on to the fashion. Fashion plays a big role in society and culture, whether or not you are personally interested in it. It's a way for people to express themselves and identify with certain groups, subcultures, or even religions. When we talk about style, we refer to the topic of clothing that is popular at a given time. Styles can be new or old styles can be back into fashion. Some common examples include gothic, skater, hip hop, or formal styles. On the other hand, a fad is a style that becomes extremely popular for a short time and then disappears. Fads often leave people wondering why they followed them in the first place. Thinking about my own style, I went through several phases. When I was younger, I dressed like a basketball player, wear Nike or Air Jordan shoes and matching shirts with my sneakers. Later, I adopted more of a skater style, wear Vans and skater clothes. Now, I don't pay much attention to fashion. I prefer comfortable clothes, but I try to look decent and avoid looking too out of style. So, it's very funny because it's like him because I want to wear comfortable clothes and I avoid be so strange in the middle of the people. So I want to wear something comfortable. Like today, I was t-shirt and shorts where I can't be more free to make some kind of moves. But I am also overweight, so comfortable clothes means a lot to me because I can make my stuffs right. I don't dance, okay? I just do this, but I don't dance. Sorry. I just want to feel more comfortable when I were wearing something, okay? Uh, so okay, yes. These days, I often wear a blank t-shirt, means a t-shirt with no writing or logos, along with pants that aren't jeans. I find jeans uncomfortable, so I tend to wear black, brown, or tan pants instead. My shoes are also pretty bad. Thought thought some of them are old and worn out. So the last word are worn out, so it's old. Okay, I probably need to get new ones soon. That wraps up to tops today. Today's top. Sorry, I make a great big mistake here. Let's read again. That wraps up today's topics. I hope this was useful practice for you and that you enjoy listening. Feel free to listen again and try to understand any word or phrase you might have missed. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you will join us next time. So, I want to say when I make the upload the video in the YouTube channel, I usually put the review transcription there because I want to you follow what I am saying, listening what I am saying, and try to understand what I'm saying. And if you don't understand something I read to you, you can read by yourself on the I don't know how to say I transcription not transcription description of my video. Então, all of the videos with the transcription, I put this all videos with description, I put the transcription there. Okay, so I make a mistake with the words. They are similar, so sorry, but I think you can understand now, right? So now we go to the listening this podcast, right? I put here, and I will open ah right. I will open the original transcription here. So I think you can see. Yes, you can see. It's very, very cute. So, while we listening the audio, I will pause my audio, my microphone. I will pause it, and if I want you to make any comment, I will open my microphone and pause the video and say what I want to say. And if you comment in the chat, I will pause the video, the audio too, and talk to you. Sorry, do you speak in English? Yes, I speak in English. And you? Ai, ai. Uh, how are you like? So I was saying, when I will make any comment, I will pause the audio and make the comment, right? And answer you if you make any comments in the chat. It's like now, right? So I don't know. She want to answer me? Lie. How are you? Do you speak in English? So I think she doesn't want to talk to me right now. So let's play the audio, right?
The Listening Time Podcast. I'm Connor from polyglossa.com, and you're listening to episode 5 of the Listening Time Podcast. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy to have you here with me. This podcast is for English learners who want to practice their listening skills. And more specifically, this podcast is for English learners who still can't understand real, fast, authentic native speech. If you have trouble understanding regular podcasts, but you can already understand a lot of English, this podcast is perfect for you. This podcast is designed to help take you to the next level. So it will help you develop the skills and the vocabulary you need to eventually understand normal native speech. So in each episode, I talk about different topics and I don't read a script. So that's the key here. I'm not reading anything. I'm just speaking as the words come to my mind. So I'm using natural language, natural words, phrases, expressions, etc. But I'm speaking a little more slowly and a little more clearly than native speakers normally do. So this should help you understand me a little bit better, but you'll still learn new words and new phrases, and it will be good practice for you. Also, the transcript is available for each episode, so you can access that and read as you listen, and you can understand all the words or phrases that might be hard for you to understand when you just listen to me the first time without reading the transcript. So that should be helpful for you as well. So in this episode, we're going to talk about barbecues and fashion. Two random topics, but who cares? Let's talk about them. So remember to check out our...
I just want to say here, uh, our lives, the first moment I will make with this podcast, right? So every single topic he comes to us, I will say here, right? If change the topics, if he wants to talk about 1,000 of different topics in the one episode, I will bring to here 1,000 different topics in one episode, right? But in the future, I think I can be more, how I say, be more confident and bring to you my topics, right? But this first moment, I want to bring topics that exist before. So I want to be more comfortable to say, to talk to you, and make this experience more I don't know the word. Well, let's say comfortable, right? I want to be comfortable and say something more easier. All right. I want this conversations the easier way. So I wanted to you understand my my feelings about to talk to you about something I feel comfortable. Okay. So let's continue.
Our website, polyglossa.com. If you want more listening practice, you can sign up for our $1 listening practice seminars there. And if you like this podcast, please share it with your family and friends. And if you can, rate this podcast and write a review for this podcast to help it grow and help more people find it so they can also practice their listening skills. All right, let's get started. Are your ears ready? You know what time it is. It's listening time. Okay, so first we're going to talk about barbecues. This is a great topic. I like this topic, and I'm sure many of you do too. So first of all, let's talk about the definition of the word barbecue. In English, barbecue can mean two things. It can refer to the event of having a barbecue. We can say, for example, come over on Saturday. We're having a barbecue in the backyard. In that context, the barbecue is the event, really. The event of having people over at your house and grilling meat and other things on the barbecue, on the grill. So that's one definition. The other definition of barbecue in English is the type of food. So we have a type of food that's called barbecue. So if you ask an American what their favorite type of food is, it's possible that they might say, my favorite type of food is barbecue, especially if they live in the South. So that's what a barbecue is. It's an event, or it could.
So I want to make a comment here. It's like in Brazil and South Brazil, Porto Alegre, Rio Grande do Sul. They usually make a lot of barbecue. They are famous for their barbecue, right? So I don't know why, but it's pretty common there, and the South United States too. So probably it's about the weather. So the place is cold. They usually more make more barbecue to eat. I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's true too. This is my theory, but I think it's good. I like to barbecue.
Be a type of food. So first, let's talk about the event. So in the United States, barbecues are fairly common. People often have them in their backyards, and they often have them on certain holidays. For example, it's common to have barbecues on the 4th of July, our Independence Day, and it's common to have barbecues on certain minor holidays, such as Labor Day and Memorial Day, where we usually have a 3-day weekend to hang out with our family and friends. So on those occasions, it's common for Americans to have barbecues. And during each barbecue, we often grill different types of meat. For example, we might make hamburgers. That's probably the most common type of meat that we make during barbecues. And we might have hot dogs. We might have steak. When I was younger, I used to have bratwurst sausages at my barbecues. So we have a variety of different choices of meat that we might barbecue during those events. The word barbecue can also be used as a verb. You can say, we're going to barbecue some meat. It just means we're going to grill that meat. So we barbecue many types of meat, and like I said, it's usually in the backyard. If you don't know what a backyard is, this is the space behind the house, your own private property, where you might have grass or a patio or maybe even a swimming pool and other things like that. So in the US, all houses have backyards. So we have more space than houses in other countries usually. And because we have this space, it provides us the opportunity to have barbecues there. So it's a great tradition, I think. So in terms of barbecue as a type of food, when people talk about barbecue in the US, they're usually referring to Southern style barbecue. You might have seen this in movies or TV shows before, or maybe you've actually tried this. For example, the most emblematic type of food in terms of barbecue is ribs. I'm sure you've seen these or heard of these before. If not, look up a picture of them, type in RIBS, ribs, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This is...
Sorry, hold us. What is the link? I would like to know. I can access the link right now, and please don't put in the chat something offensive, okay? This live is for me to practice in English, and for people who wants to learn English and practice English too. So please don't make it nothing boring here. But if you want to learn, if you want to teach someone English, because you put here in the chat in English, I presume you know English. So if you wanted to put something in English or talk about something you want to share with us, any kind of knowledge you have, feel free, okay? But please, no, don't put something offensive here, right? Thank you very much.
It's probably the most important food when it comes to barbecue, and it's very, very tasty. When I was growing up, I considered ribs to be my favorite type of food, actually. So I really like ribs because of the sauce, the barbecue sauce that people put on top of the ribs. So they're really tasty. I also really like things like macaroni and cheese and coleslaw and pulled pork. These are other food items that are related to the barbecue style of food, right? Like that Southern barbecue style. So if you ever have the chance, definitely go to a barbecue restaurant in the US and you'll find all these tasty foods, and especially if you're in the south of the US. If you're
So I wanted to add a comment here because in Brazil we have Outback where people usually order ribs for it. So when I imagine ribs in Brazil or in ribs in United States, I think in United States they are bigger than in Brazil. Uh, Probably can be more tastier. Okay, so if I go to Brazil, I want to go to places to eat uh, Hope, where they make the breakfast. So it's very common to tourists go there and eat barbecue. So go to barbecue restaurants and eat a big barbecue. So feel the taste, right? I usually go to the some place and I would like to eat something is that region, okay, region. It's like that culture. So I want to prove, prove though, no, it's wrong word. I want to taste this experience, okay? I need to try to experience. I need to try to eat what they usually eat and they usually go and the secret spot that place. It's very nice, right? It's very dangerous too, but I think it can be.
in the south, you're going to have the chance to eat amazing barbecue there. I've never been, but any American that has been will tell you just that. I hope I can try that someday too. And lastly, talking about barbecues around the world. Barbecues are an event that takes place in many countries. For example, in Mexico, barbecues are common, and people call them, a barbecue is called carne asada, for example. Or in Brazil, a barbecue is called churrasco, right? So each country has its own style of barbecue and maybe a different word to describe that event, but it's a common event in many different countries. In certain countries, like in Brazil, I know that barbecues are very, very popular. For example, I have many students from Brazil who tell me that they have a barbecue every week. Literally every Sunday, they get together with their family and their friends and they have a barbecue, right? So it's very popular there. They have barbecues much more often than we do in the US. And I'm sure in other countries, there are also a lot of different barbecue traditions that I'm not aware of. And I'm sure there are many types of meat and other things that people eat during barbecues. And of course, there are many tasty cuts of beef and pork and chicken that people cook all over the world. And I hope to try as many of these different cuisines as possible. So I've eaten meat from Argentina before and from Brazil, and it's amazing. The quality of the beef is top notch, really. When we say the phrase top notch, this just means that it's very high quality. It's a very good quality meat. It's top notch meat. So let's move on to the topic of fashion. Let's talk about fashion. This is an important topic. This is an important element of society, of culture. It's a way that people can express themselves, and it's a way that people can identify with certain groups, certain subcultures, or maybe certain religions, etc. Fashion is definitely important, whether or not you like it personally. I'm not a big fashion guy. I don't really like fashion, but I have to admit that it's an important element of culture around the world. So, let's talk a little bit about styles and trends and fads and things like this. First of all, style just refers to the type of clothing that is popular, right? And sometimes we have styles that are new, sometimes styles from the past come back and become popular again. But regardless of the origins, we definitely have different styles of clothing, styles of fashion. So, for example, some people might really like the Gothic style of clothing, or other people might dress like a skater. Skater style is also very popular, or hip hop, or other types of styles as well. Formal, classical. There are many types of styles, and if you go to any high school or college campus in the US or maybe in other countries, you'll see different styles represented among the people there. So I also used the word fad before. This might be a new word for you. A fad would be some kind of style that becomes very popular in a short time, and then it completely disappears later on. So it's a type of style that doesn't last, and later on, people usually look back and think, wow, why did we wear that? Why did we do this? That was crazy, right? So you might be able to think of certain fads that were popular when you were in high school, or maybe that are popular now, and you have no idea why people dress that way or why they think it looks good. But fads will always exist. There will always be certain really popular trends that explode and then disappear. They fizzle out. When something fizzles out, it just means that it fades away and disappears. So fads will always exist, I think. When I think of my style, my fashion of the past, I think it's pretty funny because I didn't dress how I dress now, right? When I was 13, 14, around that age, I was a basketball player, and so I dressed kind of like the other basketball players dressed at school. So I would wear Nike shoes or Air Jordan shoes, and I would wear big t-shirts with matching colors, colors that matched my shoes. So I was very color coordinated, and I spent a lot of money on expensive Nikes and Jordans and Adidas shoes. I dressed like that for maybe 2 years or so. And then after that, I dressed more like a skater because I kind of liked skating when I was in high school and middle school. And so I wore more of the skater type clothes, and I wore Vans, like those types of shoes. And so that didn't last for very long, but I definitely got into that style for a while. And then after that, I kind of stopped caring so much about fashion. And nowadays, I would say that I don't really care at all about fashion, as I mentioned before. I tend to wear clothes that are comfortable for me, but I also understand that it's important to try to look decent. I don't want to look bad or really out of style. So, of course, I try to look okay, but I really don't pay much attention to the clothes I buy. I don't go shopping very often, and
So I want to comment here too. I am very familiar because I don't want to go to the shopping mall to buying clothes because it's very boring, and I prefer to wait until my clothes get older, and I go to the internet and buy something new, and I hope this thing is I can spend more than one year. So I I am not the fashion guy too. So, but I would like to be because there are many people very fashion, and maybe one day I can be more fashion person. Okay.
so some of my shirts are from a long time ago. I know that I still wear certain shirts that I've had for maybe 7, 8, even 9 years. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but I still wear the same t shirts that I wore in my last year of high school or my first year of college. But my wife doesn't like this. She wants me to buy new shirts, wear nicer clothes. And so I'm trying to do this a little more now. I'm trying to pay a little more attention to the clothes I wear. But like I said, it's not easy for me to pay much attention to fashion. I just want to look okay and be comfortable, and that's it. So, usually, if you see me now, I'm wearing a blank t shirt, right? So, a t shirt with no writing. If I say a blank t shirt, it just means no writing, no logo. It's just all white or all black or all gray. So, I usually wear a blank t shirt and pants. I don't like jeans that much. I know it's strange. Most people wear jeans, but I almost never wear jeans. I wear either black or brown or tan pants that are a little different than jeans. I don't like the blue jeans look. I don't know why, but it's not me. So I usually just wear a blank shirt, a blank t-shirt, a pair of pants, and normal shoes. My wife wants me to buy more shoes because the few pairs of shoes that I wear are not very new, and some of them are ripped. The word ripped means that the shoes are damaged. they have holes in them. So if I say, I ripped the paper, this means that I tore the paper in different pieces. I broke the paper, so to say. But we don't say break the paper. We say rip the paper or tear the paper. So some of my shoes are ripped and have holes in them. And so I'll probably need to buy new shoes pretty soon. So we'll stop there.
So people, he finished this podcast, right? This episode. Now he will say about their other social medias. So the main part we just listening, and I think that's it today, right? I hope you enjoy this class and the way I am making this for you. And if you have any suggestions, please comment in the chat or in the comments on YouTube channel. Feel free. And thank you very much for listening this class and comments in the chat. Okay? Bye bye.